As we have understood, there are 174 sections in CGST. Now let us start with the preliminary. Short titles, extent and commencement. This is the first section in CGST which discusses about this act may be called the Central Goods and Service Tax Act 2017. Subsection 2 extends to whole of India. It shall come into the force on such date as the central government may by notification in official gazette appoints, provided that the different dates may be appointed for different provision of this act, and any reference in any such provision to the commencement of this act shall be considered as a reference to coming into force of that provision. So, this is a short title and extent. Next is definition. We have to understand the definition of each and everything in detail so that we will not interpret the meaning of anything otherwise. The subsection 1 actionable claim. Actionable claim shall have the same meaning as assigned to it in the section 3 of the Transfer of Property Acts 1882. Then the subsection 2 address of delivery means the address of the recipient of goods or services or both indicated on the tax invoice issued by a registered person for delivery of such goods or services or both. The subsection 3 address on record means the address of the recipient as applicable available in the records of the supplier. Subsection 4 adjudicating authority means any authority appointed or authorized to pass any order or decision under this act but does not include the Central Board of Indirect Tax and Customs, the revisionary authority, the authority for advance ruling, the appellant authority for advance ruling, the appellant authority, the tribunal, and the authority referred to in the subsection 2 of the section 171. Substituted for the word Central Board of Excise and Customs, the substituted for the word appellant authority and appellant tribunal vivid the Central Goods and Service Tax Amendment Act 2018 dated 30th August 2018. Subsection 5 agent. Agent means a person including a factor, broker, commission agent, or the Del Trade agent, an auctioneer, or any other mercantilized agent by whatever name called, who carries on the business of supply or receipt of the goods or services, or both, on behalf of another. Subsection 6 aggregate turnover means the aggregate value of all taxable supplies, excluding the value of inward supplies on which tax is payable by the person on the reverse charge basis, exempt supplies, export of goods or services, or both, and interstate supplies of the person having the same permanent account number to be computed on all India basis but excludes central tax, state tax, union territory tax, integrated tax and cess. Subsection 7 agriculturist. Agriculture means an individual or HUF who undertakes the cultivation of land by own labor or by the labor of the family or by servant on wages payable in cash or kind or by hired labor under the personal supervision or personal supervision of any member of the family. Appellant authority means an authority appointed or authorized to hear appeal as referred to in the section 107. Subsection 9 appellant tribunal means the goods and service tax appellant tribunal constituted under the section 109. Subsection 10 appointed day means the day on which the provision of this act shall come into force. Assessment subsection level Assessment means determination of the tax liability under this act and includes self assessment, reassessment, provisional assessment, summary assessment, and best judgment assessment. The subsection 12 associated enterprises shall have the same meaning as assigned to in the section 92A of the Income Tax Act 1961. Subsection 13 audit means the examination of records, returns, and other documents maintained or furnished by the registered person under this act or the rules made thereunder or under any other law for the time being in force to verify the correctness of the turnover declared, taxes paid, refund claimed, and input tax credit availed, and to assess his compliances with the provision of this act or the rules made thereunder. Subsection 14 authorized bank. Authorized bank means bank or branch of a bank authorized by the government to collect the tax or any other amount payable under this act. Authorized representative. Subsection 15 means the representative as referred to in the section 116. Subsection 16 board means the Central Board of Excise and Customs constituted under the Central Board of Revenue Act 1963. Subsection 17 business includes any trade, commerce, manufacture, profession, vocation, adventure, wager, or any other similar activity, whether or not it is for the pecuniary benefit. Any activity or the transaction in the connection with or incidental or auxiliary to subsection A. Any activity or the transaction in nature of the subsection A, whether or not there is a volume, frequency, continuity, or regularity of the such transaction, supply or acquisition of the goods, including capital goods and services in connection with the commencement or closure of business, provision by a club, association, society, or any such body for the subscription or any other consideration of facilities or benefits to its members, admission for consideration of the person to any premises, services supplied by a person as a holder of an office which has been accepted by him in the course or furtherance of its trade or profession or vocation, activities of race club including by way of totalizatory or totalizatory or a license to book maker or activities of licensed book maker in such club, and any activity or transaction were undertaken by the central government or the state government in which they are engaged as a public authorities substituted for the words substituted for the word service provided by the race club by way of totalizatory or lease license to book marker in such club, and vivid the central and the state service tax amendment act 2018. Subsection 18 is been deleted, omitted from 30th August 2018. Subsection 19 capital goods means goods the value of which is capitalized in the books of accounts of the person claiming the input tax credit and which are used or intended to be used in the course of furtherance of the business. Subsection 20 casual taxable person means a person who occasionally undertakes transaction involving supply of goods or services or both in the course of furtherance of the business, whether as a principal agent or in any other capacity in the state or union territory where he has no fixed place of business. Subsection 21. Central tax means the goods and service tax levied under the section 9. Subsection 222. The cess shall have the same meaning as assigned to in the goods and service tax composition to the States Act. Subsection 23. Chartered accountant means the chartered accountant as defined in the class B of the subsection 1 of the section 2 of the Chartered Accountants Act 1949. Commissioner means the commissioner of the central tax and includes the principal commissioner of the central tax appointed under the section 3 and the commissioner of integrated tax appointed under the Integrated Goods and Service Tax Act. Subsection 25. The commissioner in the board means the commissioner referred to in the section 168. The subsection 26. Common portal means the common goods and service tax electronic portal referred to in the section 146. The subsection 27. Common working days in respect of the state or union territory shall mean such days in succession which are not declared as gazetted holidays by the central government or concerned state or union territory government. The subsection 28. Company secretary means a company secretary as defined in the class C of the subsection 1 of the section 2 of the Company Secretaries Act in 1980. The subsection 29. Competent authority means such authority as may be notified by the government. Subsection 30. Composite supply means a supply made by a taxable person to a recipient consisting of two or more or taxable supplies of goods or services or both or any combination thereof which are naturally bundled and supplied in the conjunction with each other in the ordinary course of the business, one of which is the principal supply. Illustration: where the goods are packed and transported with the insurance, the supply of goods, packing material, transport, and insurance is the composite supply, and supply of goods is the principal supply. Subsection 31. Consideration in relation to the supply of goods or services or both includes any payment made or to be made, whether in money or otherwise, in response to or for the inducement of the supply of goods or services or both, whether by the recipients or by any other person, but shall not include any subsidy given by the central government or the state government. Monetary value of any act or forbiddance in respect of, in response to or for the inducement of supply of goods or services or both, and whether by recipients or by any other person, but shall not include any subsidy given to the central government or the state government, provided that the deposit given in respect of the supply of goods or services or both shall not be considered as a payment made for such supply unless the supplier. Continuous supply of goods means a supply of goods which is provided or agreed to be provided continuously or on recurrent basis under the contract, whether or not by means of a wire, cable, pipeline, or other conduit, and for which the supplier invoice the recipient on regular or periodic basis and includes the supply of such goods as the government may subject to such condition as it may by notification specify. Continuous supply of services means such supply of services which is provided or agreed to be provided continuously or recurrent basis under a contract for a period exceeding 3 months with a periodic payment obligation, and includes supply of such services as the government may subject to such conditions as it may by notification specify. Conveyance includes a vessel, an aircraft, and vehicle. Subsection 35. Cost accountant means a cost accountant as defined in the subsection 1 of the section 2 of the Cost and Works Accountant Act 1959. Council means the Goods and Service Tax Council established under the section Article 279 of the Constitution. Credit note means a document issued by the registered person under subsection 1 of the section 34. Debit note means a document issued by a registered person under the subsection 3 of the section 34. Subsection 39. Deemed exports means such supplies of goods as may be notified under the section 147. Subsection 40. Designated authority means such authority as may be notified by the board. Subsection 41. Document includes written or printed record of any sort. An electronic record as may be defined in the subclass T of the subsection 2 of the section 2 of Information Technologies Act 2000. Drawback. Subsection 42. Drawback in relation to any goods manufactured in India and exported means the rebate of duty, tax, or cess chargeable on any imported imports or any domestic imports or imports services used in the manufacture of such goods. Subsection 43. Electronic cash ledger means electronic cash ledger referred to in the subsection 1 of the section 49. Subsection 44. Electronic commerce means the supply of goods or services or both, including digital products, over digital or electronic network. Subsection 45. Electronic commerce operator means any person who owns, operates, or manages digital or electronic facility or platform for electronic commerce. Section 46. Electronic ledger, credit ledger means electronic credit ledger referred to in the subsection 2 of the section 49. Subsection 47. Exempt supply means the supply of any goods or services or both which attracts nil rate of tax or which may be wholly exempt from tax under the section level or under section 6 of the Integrated Goods and Service Tax Act and includes non-taxable supply. Subsection 48. Existing law means any law, notification, order, rules, or regulations relating to levy and collection of duty or tax on goods or services or both placed or made before the commencement of this act by the parliament or any authority or person having the power to make such law, notification, order, rules, or regulations. Subsection 49. Family means the spouse and children of the person, and the parents, grandparents, brothers and sisters of the person, if they are wholly or mainly dependent on the said person. Subsection 50. Fixed establishment means a place other than the registered place of business, which is characterized by sufficient degree of preeminence and suitable structure in terms of human and technical resources to supply services or to receive and use the services for its own needs. Subsection 51. Funds means the Consumer Welfare Fund established under the section 57. The subsection 52. The goods means every kind of movable property other than money and securities but includes actionable claims, growing crops, grass, and things attached to or forming part of land which are agreed to be served before the supply or under the contract of supply. Subsection 53. Government means central government. Subsection 54. Goods and Service Tax. Composition to States Act means the Goods and Service Tax composition to the State Act 2017. Subsection 55. Goods and service tax practitioners means any person who has been approved under the section 48 to act as such practitioners. Subsection 56 India means the territory of India as referred to in Article 1 of the Constitution is territorial waters, seabed and subsoil underlying such waters, continental shelf, exclusive economic zone, or any other maritime zone as referred to in territorial waters, continental shelf, exclusive economic zones, and other maritime zone and Act 1976, and the air space above its territory and territorial waters. Subsection 57 Integrated Goods and Service Tax Act means the Integrated Goods and Service Tax Act 2017. Subsection 58 Integrated Tax means the Integrated Goods and Service Tax levied under the Integrated Goods and Service Tax Act. Subsection 59 Input means any goods other than capital goods used or intended to be used by the supplier in the course or furtherance of business. Subsection 60 Input service means any service used or intended to be used by the supplier in the course or furtherance of business. Subsection 61 Input service distributor means an office of the supplier of the goods or services or both which receives tax invoice towards the receipt of input services, including invoice in respect of the service liable to tax under subsection 3 or the subsection 4 or the section 9 for or on behalf of distinct person referred to in the section 25 and liable to distribute the input tax credit in respect of the such invoice in the manner provided in the subsection section 20. Substituted for input service distributor means an office of supplier of goods or services or both which receives tax invoice issued under the section 31 towards the receipt of the input services and issues a prescribed document for the purpose of distributing the credit of the central tax, state tax, integrated tax, or union territory tax on said services to a supplier of the taxable goods or services or both having the same permanent account number as that of the said office. Vivid Finance Act 2024 dated 15 to 2024 to be notified at a later date. Subsection 2062 input in relation to the registered person means the central tax, the state tax, integrated tax, or union territory tax charged on any supply of goods or services or both made to him and includes the integrated goods and services tax charge on import of goods, the tax payable under the provision of the subsection 3 and 4 of the section 9, the tax payable under the provision of the subsection 3 and 4 of the section 5 of the Integrated Goods and Service Tax Act, the tax payable under this provision of the subsection 3 and subsection 4 of the section 9 of the respective state goods and service tax act or the tax payable under the provision of the subsection 3 and subsection 4 of the section 7 of the union territory goods and service tax act but does not include the tax paid under the composition levy. Subsection 63 Input tax credit means the credit of input tax. Subsection 64 Intra-state supply of goods shall have the same meaning as assigned to in the Section 8 of the Integrated Goods and Service Tax Act. The subsection 65 Intra-state supply of services shall have the same meaning as assigned to in the Section 8 of the Integrated Goods and Service Tax Act. Uh, Subsection 66 Invoice or tax invoice means the tax invoice referred to in the section 31. The subsection 67 inward supply in relation to a person shall mean the receipt of goods or services or both, whether by purchase acquisition, or any other means with or without consideration. Subsection 68. Job work means any treatment or process undertaken by a person on the goods belonging to another registered person, and the expression job worker shall be constructed accordingly. Subsection 69. Local authority means a panchayat as defined in the class D of the Article 243 of the Constitution. A municipality has defined in this section class E of the Article 243p of the Constitution. A municipal committee, a Zilla Parishad, a district board, and any other authority legally entitled to or entrusted by the central government or the state government with the control or management of municipal or local fund. A cantonment board as defined in the section 3 of the Cantonment Act 2006. A regional council or the district council constituted under the sixth schedule to the Constitution, a development board constituted under the Article 371 of the Constitution, or the regional council constituted under the Article 371 of the Constitution. The subsection 70, location of the recipient service, means the where the supply is received at a place of business for which the registration has been obtained. The location of the such place of business where a supply is received at a place other than the place of business for which registration has been obtained, a fixed establishment elsewhere. The location of the such fixed establishment where a supply is received at more than one establishment, whether the place of sub business or the fixed establishment, the location of the establishment most directly concerned with the receipt of the supply, and the absence of such place, the location of the usual place of residence of the recipient. Subsection 71. Location of the supplier of the service means where the supply is made from a place of business for which the registration has been obtained, the location of the such place of business where the supply is made from a place other than the place of business for which registration has been obtained, a fixed establishment elsewhere, the location of such fixed establishment where a supply is made for more than one establishment, whether the place of business or fixed establishment, the location of establishment most directly concerned with the provision of the supply, and in absence of such place, the location of the usual place of residence of the supplier. Subsection 72. Manufacture means processing of raw material or input in any manner that results in emergency of new product having a distinct name, character, and use, and term manufacturer shall be constructed accordingly. Subsection 73. The market value shall mean the full amount which a recipient of the supply is required to pay in order to obtain the goods or services or both of like kind and quality at or about the same time and at the same commercial level where the recipients and the supplier are not related. The mixed subsection 74. Mixed supply means two or more individual supplies of goods or services or a combination thereof made in conjunction with each other by the taxable person for a single price, where such supply does not constitute a composite supply. Illustration: a supply of package consisting of canned food, sweets, chocolates, cakes, dry fruit, aerated drinks, and fruits. Juice, when supplied for a single price, is a mixed supply. Eh, Each of these items can be supplied separately and is not dependent on any other. It shall not be mixed supply if these items are supplied separately. Eh, Subsection 75. Money means the Indian legal tender or any foreign currency, check, promissory note, bills of exchange, letter of credit, draft, pay order, traveler check, money order, post, or electronic remittance, or any other instrument recognized by the RBI when used as a consideration to settle an obligation or exchange with the Indian legal tender of another denomination, but shall not include any currency that is held for its numeristic value. Motor vehicle shall have the same meaning as assigned to it in the class 28 of the section 2 of the Motor Vehicle Act 1988. Subsection 77 non-resident taxable person means any person who occasionally undertakes transactions involving supply of goods or services or both, whether as a principal or agent or in any other capacity, but who has no fixed place of business or residence in India. Subsection 78 non taxable supply means a supply of goods or services or both which is not leviable to tax under this act or under Integrated Goods and Service Tax Act. Subsection 79 non taxable territory means the territory which is outside the taxable territory. Subsection 80 notification means a notification published in official gazette and expression notify and notified shall be constructed accordingly. Subsection 80A online games means offering of games on internet or electronic network and includes online money gaming. Inserted vivid the Central Goods and Service Tax Amendment Act 2023 dated 18/8/23 made effective from 1/10/23. The subsection 80DAB online money gaming means online gaming in which the player pay or deposit money or money's worth, including virtual digital assets, in expectation of winning money or money's worth, including virtual digital assets in any event, including games, schemes, competition, or any other activity or the process, whether or not its outcome or performance is based on the skill, chance, or both, and whether the same is permissible or otherwise under any other law for the time being in force. Subsection 81 other territory includes the territories other than those comprising in the state and those referred to in the subclass A to E of the class 114. Subsection 82 output tax in relation to taxable person means the tax chargeable under this act on the taxable supply of goods or services or both made by him or by his agent but excludes tax payable by him on the reverse charge basis. The subsection 83 outward supply in relation to taxable person means the supply of goods or services or both, whether by sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, rental, lease, or disposal, or any other mode made or agreed to be made by such person in course of furtherance of business. Subsection 84 person includes an individual, HUF, company, a firm, limited liability partnership, an association of person or body of individual, whether incorporated or not, in India, outside India, any corporation established by or under any central act, state act, or provisional act or government company as defined in the class 45 of the section 2 of the Companies Act 2013, any body corporate incorporated on under the laws of the country outside India, a cooperative society registered under any law relating to the cooperative societies, a local authority, the central government or the state government society as defined under the Societies Registration Act 1860, trust, and every artificial judicial person not falling within any of the above. The subsection 85 place of business includes a place from where business is ordinarily carried on and includes a warehouse, godown, and any other place where a taxable person stores his goods, supplies, or receives goods or services, or both, or the place where the taxable person maintains his books of accounts, or a place where a taxable person is engaged in the business through an agent by whatever name called. Subsection 86 place of supply means the place of supply as referred to in the chapter 5 of the Integrated Goods and Service Tax Act. Subsection 87 prescribed means prescribed by rules made under this act on the recommendation of the council. Subsection 88 the principal means a person who on whose behalf an agent carries on the business of supply or receipt of the goods or services or both. Subsection 89 principal place of business means the place of business specified as the principal place of business in the certificate of registration. Subsection 90 the principal supply means the supply of goods or services which constitutes the predominant element of composite supply and to which any other supply forming part of that composite supply is auxiliary. Subsection 91 proper officer in relation to any function to be performed under this act means the commissioner or the officer of the central tax who is assigned that function by the commissioner in the board. Subsection 92 quarter means shall mean a period comprising three consecutive calendar months ending on the last day of March, June, September, and December of a calendar year. Subsection 93 recipients of the supply of goods or services or both. It means where the consideration is payable for the supply of goods or services or both. The person who is liable to pay that consideration, where no consideration is payable for supply of goods, the person to whom the goods are delivered or made available, or to whom the possession or use of goods is given or made available, and where no consideration is payable for supply of services, the person to whom the service is rendered, and any reference to a person to whom the supply is made shall be construed as a reference to the recipients of the supply and shall include an agent acting as such on the behalf of the recipients in relation to the goods or services or both. Subsection 94 registered person means a person who is registered under the section 25 but does not include a person having a unique identity number. Subsection 95 regulations means the regulations made by the board under this act on the recommendation of the council. Subsection 96 removal in relation to the goods means dispatch of goods for the delivery by the supplier thereof or by any other person acting on behalf of the such supplier, or the collection of goods by the recipients thereof or any other person acting on behalf of the such recipients. Subsection 97 returns means the returns prescribed or otherwise required to be furnished by under this act or the rules made thereunder. Subsection 98 reverse charge means the liability to pay tax by the recipient of the supply of goods or services or both instead of the supplier of such goods or services or both under the subsection 3 or the subsection 4 of the section 9 or under subsection 3 or the subsection 4 of the section 5 of the Integrated Goods and Service Tax Act. Subsection 99 Revisional authority means an authority appointed or authorized for the revision of the decision or orders as referred to in the section 108. The subsection 100 schedule means the schedule appended to this act. Say subsection 101 securities means shall have the same meaning as assigned to it in the class H of the section of the Securities and Contract Regulation Act 19